Ladies and gentlemen, you know what this is. This is Kerry Washington. A lot of black women know her from a show called Scandal. I know her from the movie Save the Last Dance, as well as a movie called I Think I Love My Wife with Chris Rock. And she was really good in that movie. But she was previously engaged to a white man for a number of years, but then I guess the engagement got broken off. And then she married a black man who she's been married to for quite a while. But I'm gonna tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. If I were that black man that was married to Kerry Washington, as much money as she's making, I wouldn't give a shit. Because it seems this woman wants to live out her interracial fantasies. And when I see a black woman, or a black man for that matter, taking on a lot of different roles where they're in interracial relationships on television and movies, it makes me kind of wonder if they really have that particular type of mindset in reality. Like, just because you're married to a black person doesn't mean you really love them. You can still have that Walt Disney, or should I say particular swirltopia mind in place. Like, I wouldn't even put it past the fact that if Kerry Washington and her black husband broke up, that she'd go right back to a white man again. Okay? Because I used to say the same thing about Mario Van Peebles and Blair Underwood. I used to see them in a lot of movies where they were white women, and it used to make me like raise my eyebrow and be like, "What the hell are they in these movies for? These are when they should be with black women." Because even when I was younger, I had a kind of a mindset where I knew I wanted to be with a black woman, regardless of what the hell I was being shown on television. But that's neither here or there. My whole thing about making this video right now is she is in a new movie that's going to be on Netflix. And Netflix always seems to have this agenda of putting interracial bullshit in their movies for the most part. And this movie is no exception. It's actually based on a play that was on Broadway for about 2 or 3 years. And the same premise, it was a black woman and a white man whose son was either kidnapped or missing, and they're trying to find what happened to him. I'm not sure if it's a child or it's a teenager, but I would think it's a child that's their son. And the thing about this is that not only does it promote the interracial agenda, but here's a fucked up thing to me. And a lot of you probably won't be surprised because this woman has been on Scandal for so fucking long. She went to the premiere of this particular Broadway play with her co-star, who she has the affair with in the show. I believe his name is Tony Goldwyn. He was the guy that was the bad guy in Ghost, if I remember correctly, which was with Patrick Swayze and Whoopi Goldberg back in the early 90s. I watched that shit when I was a kid. Not a bad movie. But Kerry Washington is going to star in this movie on Netflix, as well as be the producer. So she is putting herself as the black actress with this white man, David Pascal, I believe his name is. Not sure if that's his name. I think it's Pascal, his last name. And she's also producing the movie. So not only is she starring as the swirler, but she is producing the swirling movie on Netflix. Are you surprised, ladies and gentlemen? If I was married to a black woman, whether she be successful or not, and I am married to a black woman, I'm saying a black woman that was in the industry like this. If she started taking on roles that continually saw her in roles with white men as her lovers or her husband, I would have to start questioning that. Just like I think that this woman's husband should have questioned her when she made those comments about Liam Neeson. Oh my God, what is that woman's name? I can't remember that woman's name. My God. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can find her name. Viola Davis, that's her name. It came back to me. I was thinking about it because I didn't want to screw up in this video. But when you're married to a black woman and she starts saying shit like that about white men that she's starring in movies with, and thinking that more black women need to be in movies with white men, that's kind of a red flag that she may have the swirling mind in play. I mean, don't make no mistake. I'm thinking if Viola Davis ever divorced her husband, they ever had a problem where they had irreconcilable differences, she would probably go into the arms of a white man. And I feel the same way about these brothers out here who have this particular mindset of being in movies with white women as their girlfriends or their wives. I believe the same thing. But Kerry Washington, to me, has fell off a very long time ago. Pretty much after that movie, Do I Think I Love My Wife, which she looked really fucking hot in, she has fell off for me. Because all she's been doing is doing movies where she's been with white boys, white men, and I don't like it. And if you listen to her talk, she sounds like she wants to talk like a white woman. I mean, I don't know too many black women. I know there are black women out there that have this kind of valley girl kind of talk. Some of them just talk that way because they've been around white people. But this woman literally talks like she wants to be a white woman, and it's creepy to me.
Separated from my white husband, and the whole film takes place in 90 minutes real time in the lobby of a police precinct because we are desperately looking for our 18-year-old son who has just gone missing.
So you heard how she talks, and you heard a little bit premise of the story. Said that they're looking for their 18-year-old son, and she just has this way of talking. It just, I'm telling you, I'm not asking a black woman to sound any way that she doesn't want to sound. But when I hear black women talking like that, to me it sounds like they want to be white women. And the fact that she's doing so many movies with white men and so many television shows, she's got accolades for being a whore, to white men, okay? Being a cheap mistress to white men, okay? That says a lot about how people in this country and in this world feel about black women. I'm not the one to go on here and start bashing black women, but I see this shit and I call it out for what it is. And she reminds me of the actress I told you about before, Diana Sands. She reminds me of the one that recently died, Diane Carroll. All these black actresses out here who decide that they want to fuck with white men and they get with them in these movies and they get with them in real life. And the same thing could be said with her. Now, she's with a black man, but I mean, I'm telling you, if this woman broke up and divorced her husband, she'd be with a white man again. I'm telling you. And as much as I love Pam Grier has mostly been with black men, but she's done some swirling television shows. The L Word, she swirled with a woman and swirled with a white man. And then at the end of the entire season, she was with a black man. And now she's on this show called Bless This Mess, where she's old now, and she's swirling with this old ass white man. And I'm not gonna watch that show ever. But I can't really get mad at Pam Grier because Pam Grier really kept it real. She's been with the majority black men. She's only been with two white men that I know about. And one was a encounter, like a sexual thing, and then the other was a relationship that she's in for like 7 or 8 years. I don't like that, but I mean, hey, but she's mostly been with black men, so I can respect that. And she talks the way she talks, like she talks. She doesn't try to be anybody that she's not. And I can respect that about a black woman. I cannot respect this woman who continues to put herself in situations like this. And I know she doesn't give a shit what I care, if I care or not, or you care. But to me, it's like you continue to see this pattern of these black women who are living this swirling fantasy online because they can't live it in real life with their black husband. So they do it on these movies, on television, and in advertisements. And the same can be said with men like Blair Underwood and Mary Van Peebles, even though they're married to black women supposedly now, okay, that have done this in the past. And I still see Blair Underwood doing it to this day, even though he's with a black wife. So it kind of makes me question some of these black actors and actresses. And that's why I don't really let celebrities be my, end all or be all, because when you get into highly weird, as people call it, you're selling your soul to the devil. And when you sell your soul to the devil, you start doing devilish things. You start getting into shit that you shouldn't be getting into, like drugs. You start swirling, which you should never be doing anyway to begin with. And I would never want to be an actor. If I was ever going to be an actor, I'd rather be a voice actor because at least I could just put my voice to a cartoon or a movie. But I would never want to be in front of the camera. Not because I know I'm a good looking person, but I don't want to be around that particular type of people. I don't want to be around anybody that's doing drugs. I don't want nobody to put me in swirling roles. And then if I refuse the role, my whole career is canceled because I didn't do what my agent wanted me to do. No. But to me, this is very telling of Kerry Washington. And someone put me onto this because I know Netflix has a history as of late of doing these things like I talked about the Lady and the Tramp movie they're going to be doing. So I'm not surprised that once again they're doing another swirling movie. And even though she says she's divorced from the white husband, she is still with the man in the movie trying to find their son. Okay? So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's my little take on this Kerry Washington situation. And I will talk to you soon. And I don't hate black women. I really don't. I don't care what you think. I don't hate them. But I call out swirling on both sides. And I call out the mindset on both sides. So that's what this whole video is about. And I'll talk to you next time.